coverage from Paris. Bring the Summer Games with you from your phone to your car, on your Alexa, or wherever you listen. Open the free iHeart app now and enable push notifications for live updates from Paris. iHeartRadio, the exclusive audio home of NBC's coverage of the 2024 Paris Olympics.
It's time to give. It's time to give stuff away.
Okay, you want to go see Primus and Coheed in Cambria. Special guest Too Many Zoos. It is 1 week from tonight. That's August 5, out at Blossom. LiveNation.com for all the details. You might run into young Bill Squire out there walking around too. Primus and Coheed, 1 week from tonight. I'll have tickets for you all week if you want to get in last minute here. So good luck. Caller 10. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Brain dead entertainment throughout history. The cup and ball, the yo-yo, Pong, the Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
I ain't one for poetry, ain't one for prose, ain't one for the scent of a springtime rose. But there is one fact that I do know. I sure get a kick out of that Beavis and Butthead show.
I live in Ohio, and anyone that knows anything about Ohio knows that even the word Ohio is an old Native American word. It means, literally, land of poor white people. And I don't know what's going on down here, but in my experience, poor white people love heroin. They can't seem to get enough of it. I even have insight into how the white community must have felt watching the black community go through the scourge of crack. Because I don't care either. Hang in there, whites. Just say no. What's so hard about that?
You know, a lot of good press for Ohio over the past few days. You know, a lot of times people like to take their shots at the Buckeye State. You might have not have noticed. I've certainly noticed. Being a resident here almost a decade and a half. The Cleveland Clinic, as a matter of fact, just did the world's first robotic-assisted dual kidney surgery. Transplant surgery, I think, is what they did. Oh, sure, plenty of places have done one kidney with robots, but the Cleveland Clinic, leave it to them to do both kidneys with the robots. I mean, that's like a cool thing, but it's a robot assisted, right? It's not fully autonomous, obviously. I would think that the person in charge, or the surgeon running that, has to go through hundreds of hours of training on these robots. So they go, well, it's less invasive. I mean, it's a great innovation. But anyway, that's something that puts
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Puts Ohio on the map. And the Ohio Supreme Court tackling today's most salient issues. Say what you will about the divisions within the state of Ohio. Say what you will about the United States Supreme Court. But the Ohio Supreme Court is tackling things nobody else will. They have ruled that chicken wings with bones can be advertised as boneless.
Whoa.
They're
It what?
all the way to the Ohio Supreme Court.
This is what we're doing?
All the big stuff has been fixed in the state of Ohio, and so they're ruling on this. The Ohio Supreme Court, a divided Ohio Supreme Court. So not unanimous. They really had to scratch their heads over this one.
Is this just in case a bone shows up in one of the, like...
I don't know. The Ohio, somebody sued.
Head scratcher for me.
And it went all the way to the Ohio Supreme Court. The Ohio Supreme Court ruled that consumers cannot expect boneless chicken wings to actually be free of bones. This was because of, yes, someone who sued because they got a bone stuck in their throat. A man named Michael Berkheimer had been dining with his wife and friends at a wing joint in Hamilton, Ohio. Is that suburban Cincinnati? Is that down by there?
Yeah.
And had ordered the usual. This guy loves his boneless wings, a.k.a. chicken tenders, so much that he has a usual. Boneless wings with Parmesan garlic sauce. And he felt a piece of meat go down the wrong way. 3 days later, he went to the emergency room. He was feverish. He was unable to keep food down. Oh, it's heaven. And a doctor discovered a long, thin bone that had torn his esophagus and caused an infection.
See, even you skinny wiener kings can still wreck some throats.
Skinny wiener kings.
Yeah, and needle D kings.
There you
know,
go.
Yep.
Yep.
You can still do some damage in them throats.
I think the Skinny Wiener Kings are at the Music Box this coming weekend. So this guy
It's gonna be a
sues.
tough weekend.
Guy
because
sues the restaurant.
it's a lot of wrestling.
Is that this weekend? The hit 'em up. What's it
SmackDown.
called?
Yes,
Yes.
SmackDown is Friday and SummerSlam is Saturday.
Oh, the SummerSlam is Saturday.
Mhm.
Oh, I'll be out of town all weekend. Man.
Another wedding?
Yeah, my sister's getting married. The guy
This
sued.
weekend.
I'm sorry?
This weekend.
2 weekends and 2 weddings in a row. Yep. This guy sues the restaurant, saying that the restaurant had failed to warn him that their boneless wings, which of course are nuggets, could contain bones. And this guy sued everybody. He named the supplier. Once the lawyers get involved, right? They know what they're doing. Named the supplier and sued the farm and blah, blah, blah.
Bro, if there was a bone, like how little, was it just like a shard?
Don't know. Enough to tear his esophagus and cause an infection.
Yeah, imagine it's just like a little shard of bone got in there.
I mean, it's probably nothing to screw around with, but
yeah,
still.
no,
you know,
but I'm
this
just
guy-
saying, like, didn't you chew? Are you just eating like a duck?
swallowing him whole.
Yeah.
Just down his gullet like he's a sword swallower. He's got a regular order, so maybe
Wait,
he
Mary, you do it.
thinks he knows what he's doing. She did it.
It sounds exactly the same every time.
I know. Consistency is key.
Mm-hmm.
In a 4-3 ruling, razor thin margin there at the Ohio Supreme Court, said that boneless wings refers to a cooking style and that he should have been on guard against bones. See, I would go into every...
Just like every lady.
Sure! I would go into every restaurant situation with that in mind. Nobody's paying attention. They're just taking stuff and putting it in oil or whatever. These are not surgeons. They're like, here's your order. Here's what you ordered. Here's what we have. We get giant bags of frozen bricks and we throw them in the oil and we serve them to you.
This is how Alan goes out. There's going to be a shard of bone in his salad pouch. He's gonna
How did
swallow
a
it.
bone get
I
in my
don't
salad
know.
pouch?
Nobody's paying attention.
No,
Oh,
you're gonna move to not just having salad pouches, but having boneless wing pouches,
Meat pouches, yeah.
So they'll blend it up, and you can
Yep.
eat it out of a pouch.
No, I like
saves time.
I like meat. I have no interest in manipulating meat. If they're like, hey, here's a chicken.
428.
Here's a chicken shake. Because some people do that. They blend up meat. No, thank you. Nope. When it comes to meat, I gotta have that meat in my mouth, Bill. Fully intact. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If there's gonna be a bone caught in my throat, I want it to be
wanna know about
want to
it.
get it honestly. Want to
Better have
earn
an
it.
Better have an R at the end.
That's right. Have an R at the end?
A bone in
A
your throat.
bone in my throater. I get it.
Yep.
So anyway, the Ohio Supreme Court says that you cannot expect words to mean what they say they mean. If they say boneless, you have to go further and assume that they're not. The dissenting justices called the majority opinion utter jabberwocky,
Oh.
and that the jury should have been allowed to decide. You know, I would think that
We have juries for that reason to decide,
right. I would think that if you're on a
Annoying.
jury, I had jury duty last year, earlier this year, a while back. I never made it onto a jury. I was there for 2 days. I never got called. But I think if you get called for a jury, you don't want to be on a case like this. You're like, if I'm going to miss work and they're going to pay me $20 a day, I want to be like on a murder trial. I want to be figuring out, did Jake Gyllenhaal kill his mistress? I want to be on that. Not, do chicken boneless nuggets have bones in them? Oh, I just got off jury duty. Oh, what was it? Because that's what everybody asks you. Oh, if you say you got on a jury. If you didn't get called like I didn't, no big deal. Everybody eventually gets called for jury duty. Theoretically. A lot of people never do it. I hadn't been called in 30 years for jury duty. But you want to be on...
I got called during the pandemic. So
you want to be on a case with some heft. You want something that, you want a life and death situation. So it was a Zoom jury duty?
No, he didn't go, remember?
I didn't even know. But then I called, and they're like, oh, yeah, don't worry about it. We're not doing jack around here.
Ah. We're not doing jack around here. People are out there just murdering with no consequences whatsoever. Haven't you heard there's a pandemic? We're not doing juries. We can't find enough peers. The question must be asked, the dissenters said. Does anyone really believe that the parents in this country who feed their young children boneless wings expect bones to be in the chicken? Of course they don't. When they read the word boneless, they think that it means without bones, as do all sensible people. So congratulations to the Ohio Supreme Court for once again coming out on top. Oh, somebody sent me a, not another Hawk Tuah song, but the Hawk Tuah, Haley is, I guess she's been around long enough, everybody knows her name. She and her friend, have you seen the song that her friend sings? And she just kind of jumps in?
Yeah.
I hadn't seen this.
This is Haley, and she went to the University of Northern Alabama, but she had to drop out to pay the bills and take care of my grandma. And then she went viral, so she made some cash, but Granny keeps asking her what Hawk Tuah means, so we wrote this song for Haley's grandma to explain myself to the elderly. Hawk Tuah means being selfless. Hawk Tuah means you care. Hawk Tuah is another word for hard work, like rolling up your sleeves and tying back your hair. Hawk Tuah means love and affection. Hawk Tuah means...
We're in a recession, Grandma. Stop asking so many questions.
Oh, boy. Well, anyway.
That's Jax. She's a famous singer.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
She sang the Victoria's Secret song.
Don't know that.
Really popular last summer.
Okay. What's her name?
Jax, J-A-X.
Who's remember Garfunkel and Oates?
Yep. Ricky Lindholm and
Ricky's got a new song out called "Don't Google Mommy." That's pretty funny.
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah, I don't think it's safe for.
She quietly married Fred Armisen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a couple years ago, I guess. She was about to have a kid. She had a child through a surrogate, and fell in love with Fred Armisen. It was like, hey, I'm gonna have a kid in a couple of weeks. Want to go on a date?
96.5 Kiss FM.
Just give me the goddamn song, will ya?
That was the beginning of it, yeah.
God, I wish somebody would have told me when I was younger.
Oh, that's that girl?
That's that girl.
So her and the Hawk Tuah girl, that's how she really sounds.
Yeah, she got famous doing little songs on TikTok, but obviously that one, the Victoria's Secret one, is a single that's been heavily produced.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. By the way, not a minute too soon. Talk about a delayed reaction. Spencer Gifts has announced their line of Hawk Tuah merch. Is this story like a year old or what? Like it's the end. It's the end of July, and they're like, "Hey, we got Hawk Tuah merch in Spencer's. If you can make it past the sexy dice and the dildos, we've got Hawk Tuah merch." She is also the guest on our friend Bill Maher's podcast this week.
She was on Whitney Cummings' podcast last week.
Yeah, I'm sure she's making the rounds. But I have to claim ignorance here. I guess I know Spencer Gifts is still around. I didn't know that anybody was really paying attention to them. They have to still be in the malls, I assume, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spencer Gifts. I mean, when I was a kid, it was just like weed T-shirts and whatever else. Now it's like everything. Like, hey, sexy board games and dildos and Hawk Tuah merch. But I'm sure that they signed a thing with her. You know, early on, people were you can make shirts in 30 seconds now. And she wouldn't get any of that money. You sign a licensing deal with Spencer Gifts. You don't have to answer any of your grandmother's questions. Because you're just going to show her them fat stacks. You go, Grandma, this is you should be thanking me for Hawk Tuah because that's what's going to pay for your coffin. That's what's going to pay for your funeral. I don't know how old her grandmother is, but I'll assume she's grandmother age. Of course, down there, her grandma could be 39. What do I know? But
I imagine her grandma's probably not super old because she's, 22 or 23?
Something like that.
So her
grandma could be 65 years old or 54.
50s or 60s, yeah. Not like my grandma was like 95.
Right, that's a lot of grandmas, sir. Hey, Chase.
Hi, Alan. Hate the show.
What's up?
Hey, you guys were talking about the chicken bone in Boneless Chicken. I don't want to name the place just for their safety or anything, but I used to work at a food processing plant, and one of the jobs that happened to go on every other week was going through bags of quote-unquote boneless chicken breasts or thighs and making sure that all of the bones and everything was taken out of it. And the way that we would do it is by putting on gloves and mashing the chicken to bits to make sure that bones or other organs or stuff like that was out of the already deboned chicken.
Nice. That's a good gig, isn't it?
For the pay, no.
But,
there were at least 2 people that fully passed out that I know of doing it.
Passed out?
Oh, full on.
Because it was grueling work, or it was gross work?
I wouldn't say it's luxurious work by any means, but it was up there in the will not do it again category.
Wow. Well, you live to tell your tale, right, Chase?
I might have been one of the people that passed out, so almost.
Oh, all right. It's like the intro to Quincy, a nice contemporary reference. Okay, thank you, Chase. I appreciate
Chicken tender,
the.
Yeah. Chicken tender, yeah. Chicken tender, yeah. Tender forever.
Does it make you hungry?
Put your hands together. Say a hickey-dickey-doo.
So that guy lost his case with the whole Ohio Supreme Court. Because they said, nope, this guy should have known. So who knows how much money he spent in legal fees.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, you go all that way. Of course, I guess they don't get paid until he gets paid, so I don't know.
What's this dance you're doing, Mary?
My face itch.
What's happening?
I thought you were doing like a...
Nope, just my face itching.
She's got an itchy face, Bill. That wasn't a face she was making you earlier. She was trying to ward the itch off of her skin.
I thought she was dancing to the chicken song.
Not ditching to the Chanson song.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to break. I'll have tickets for you later on. If you want to see the Nile show, if you're a metal fan, MMS and 2 Hours to Midnight are presenting that Nile tour. Revenge of the Underworld, Nile and 6 Feet Under. Ooh, that's going to be a brutal one. It's going to be at the Agora after the first of the year. So I'll have those for you shortly. If you want to text me for something else, 35192. You can watch wherever you are at AlanCoxShow.com.
The Alan Cox